6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. Health Minister says over 6 million people had now been fully vaccinated. The Supreme Court further extended the decision to hear only urgent matters in open court. The National Christian Alliance of Sri Lanka donates a stock of essential medical equipment to treat COVID-19 patients. Direct flights between Nepal and Sri Lanka will resume from Tuesday. Sri Lankan government has revised the visa fees and fines. Ministry of Environment implements several successful approaches to control the usage of plastic and polythene. News from overseas, the Taliban asks all women employees to report to work regularly. Health Minister Kehelia Rabukwala says that over 6 million people above 30 years of age had now been fully vaccinated. He added that Health Ministry will be able to provide both jabs for 60% of the population by mid-October. He also assures to continue the vaccination drive systematically and request all those who are yet to get their doses to come forward without delay. Meanwhile, the Army is now conducting mobile vaccination drive for senior citizens, and it was conducted in Kadawatha area today. The Supreme Court announced that it has further extended the decision to hear only urgent matters in open court until September 3rd. Supreme Court Registrar said he was issuing this notice on the direction of Chief Justice in view of the COVID-19 situation in the country. The Supreme Court Registrar announced if there are any urgent matters which should be taken up in open court, a motion containing an application to such effect should be filed before the scheduled date. The Supreme Court Registrar further announced that litigants will not be permitted to enter the Superior Court's complex unless permission has been obtained from the relevant presiding justice. He added, all attorneys at law have been requested to fully adhere to health guidelines issued by the health authorities. He also requested that attorneys at law to enter courtrooms only when it is reasonably likely that their respective application is about to be taken up. Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal has also announced that all cases that are scheduled to be taken up before all divisions of the Court of Appeal until September 3rd will not be mentioned as scheduled, and only urgent cases are to be considered by Court of Appeal during this period, and it is the discretion of the presiding justice to consider whether an application is urgent or not. The National Christian Alliance of Sri Lanka has donated a stock of essential medical equipment for the hospitals to treat COVID-19 patients. The donation was made at the Ministry of Health to State Minister Dr. Sudashini Fernandopulle today. The medical equipment worth 4.6 million rupees includes 2 high-flow oxygen machines, 2 numbers of 10-litre oxygen concentrators, 6 numbers of 5-litre oxygen concentrators, and other several essential medical equipment that could be used to treat respiratory problems in patients with COVID-19 infections. State Minister has earlier requested urgent assistance from Sri Lankans overseas to help deal with the coronavirus pandemic in the country. The minister said the stock of medical equipment will be provided to hospitals in the eastern and southern provinces as a matter of priority, and at the request of donors. Dr. Sudashini Fernandopulle expressed her gratitude on behalf of the government as these devices will help in saving the lives of the people at this crucial time. Direct flights between Nepal and Sri Lanka will resume from Tuesday after several decades. Sri Lanka's ambassador to Nepal, Himali Arunatilak, said that Sri Lankan Airlines is resuming direct flights between Colombo and Kathmandu starting August 31st. She tweeted that the airline had announced it would restart the flights twice a week between the two cities. The direct flight between the two countries is expected to boost tourism and enhance people-to-people contact between the two countries. She also said Royal Nepal Airlines, as it was called earlier, used to operate regular direct flights between Kathmandu to Colombo sector some 4 decades ago. However, the flights were suspended as they were not commercially viable, she added. Sri Lankan government has revised the visa fees and fines as per the new immigration and immigration regulations. Issuing a statement, the Department of Immigration and Immigration announced that foreigners staying in Sri Lanka without a valid visa will be charged $500 penalty in addition to the visa fee. Controller General of Department of Immigration and Immigration, Mr. U.V. Saratrupasiri says the Extraordinary Gazette number 241/337 can be downloaded from the website documents.gov.lk for more details. Ministry of Environment has implemented several successful approaches to control the usage of plastic and polythene. Accordingly, Minister Mahinda Amaraweera will present a cabinet memorandum to the cabinet tomorrow to control the disposal of single-use plastic and polythene products. Minister said 7 types of single-use disposable plastic and polythene-based products will be banned. The cabinet memorandum includes plastic drinking straws and stirrers, plastic spoons, cups, knives, forks, plastic string hopper, plates, and plastic artificial grass covers. Minister said the decision to ban 7 other single-use species was taken in view of the serious environmental and health threat posed by these non-degradable products. An amount exceeding 2 billion shopping bags are released into the environment annually in Sri Lanka, and this would cause huge damage to the ocean as well as drinking water sources, the minister said. Minister also requested people to support the ban and help to save the environment. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Hidden stock of sugar has been taken into custody by the Consumer Affairs Authority. The stock was hidden in a warehouse in Marbole area in Wattala. The Consumer Affairs Authority has raided the warehouse on a complaint made by the public. The authority also requests the public to inform them regarding such warehouses stocking any essential food items. Meanwhile, State Minister Janaka Wakumra said the government has taken measures to sell locally manufactured brown sugar at 130 rupees from tomorrow. Sugar Corporation has scheduled to distribute sugar products in Semanagala, Palavatta and Hingurana sugar factories to Satosa outlets island-wide. The government had reduced tax rate to provide relief for the general public, and if the local production is not adequate, government is ready to import sugar, minister said. Health Minister Kelly Ramukwala says an investigation is launched into the incident at the Hikkadua Vaccination Centre. He said that there had been a clash between 2 groups of people who insisted on priority to be vaccinated, and the situation escalated. It was reported while some were awaiting their jabs. The Ministry of Health officials halted the vaccination drive for the day and packed up the equipment to leave, with those waiting in line not having received their jabs. However, their cards already had confirmed it. Health Minister said the ministry will assure that every individual, including those in the village concerned, will have unhindered access to the vaccine. And that ends local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Ministry of Environment has implemented several successful approaches to control the usage of plastic and polythene. Accordingly, Minister Mahinda Amaraweera will present a cabinet memorandum to the cabinet tomorrow to control the disposal of single-use plastic and polythene products. Minister said 7 types of single-use disposable plastic and polythene-based products will be banned. The cabinet memorandum includes plastic drinking straws and stirrers, plastic spoons, cups, knives, forks, plastic string hopper plates, and plastic artificial grass covers.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, patients with Delta variant begin showing symptoms around 5 days after infection. The head of the Department of Immunology and Molecular Biology at the Sri Jayawardhanapura University, Dr. Chandima Jivandra says, on average, people began showing symptoms 5 to 8 days after infection with Delta. He added that understanding the duration of the viral shedding is therefore vital in the effort to implement effective public health measures to control the spread of the virus. And that came to you in Watchlight. On to a bulletin of world news in the headlines. The Taliban asked all women employees to report to work regularly. Chinese moms say raising 3 children would be a financial issue. Pope Francis replaced by Australian bishop. World news in detail now. The Taliban advises all women employees in the city and provinces that they should attend work regularly. A statement from spokesman, the Taliban had earlier instructed women to be at home till they are instructed, prompting fears the movement will repeat the stance of their previous government before 2001. However, growing complaints that the fragile health system was short of staff appear to have prompted an about face. The Taliban say they will face no impediment to performing their duties from the Islamic Emirate. China has recently encouraged couples to have more children. For more than 35 years, the ruling Communist Party strictly enforced a one-child policy as the country tried to address overpopulation and alleviate poverty. However, many argued that raising 3 children would be prohibitively expensive and out of reach for most urban couples, many of whom face stagnating wages, fewer job opportunities and grueling hours at work. Pope Francis replaced an Australian bishop who stepped down amid a Vatican investigation into what Australian media have described as allegations of sexual misconduct. The Vatican said yesterday Pope Francis accepted Bishop Christopher Alan Saunders' resignation as head of the Broome Diocese in Western Australia. Francis appointed another prelate, Bishop Michael Henry Morrissey of the Geraldton Diocese, to temporarily administer the sprawling Catholic diocese. Back to the headlines of the world news. The Taliban asked all women employees to attend work regularly. Chinese mom says raising 3 children would be a financial issue. Pope Francis replaced an Australian bishop. That ends World News.
Development News is brought to you by Quality Matters Than Price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number 1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
In development news, Foreign Minister G.L. Peiris seeks to boost Korean language education to increase the bilateral links and to provide more job opportunities for young Sri Lankans. At a meeting with the East Asian nations envoy Sanchus Woon Jin-jong, Foreign Minister has emphasized the importance of development of Korean language education in Sri Lanka and fullest cooperation from Korean government in this regard. Over the last decade, Korea has emerged as a popular destination for labor-sending countries from the Asia-Pacific region. Around 30,000 Sri Lankans have gone for employment in Korea after passing Korean language exams.
Development News was brought to you by Quality Matters Than Price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number 1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
In sports news, permission has been granted to national players Dushmantha Chamira and Wanindu Hasaranga to take part in the Indian Premier League IPL 2021, the Sri Lanka Cricket Board said. The permission for the players was granted by the SLC in consultation with the Technical Advisory Committee. The no objection certificate to the duo was issued for them to join the IPL team starting from 15 September following the completion of the South Africa tour of Sri Lanka. The Sri Lanka Cricket said the 2 players will join the Sri Lanka squad on the 10th of October 2021 to play in 2 warm-up games prior to the ICC Men's T20 World Cup qualifier, the SLC said.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The The Commercial Bank of Ceylon has announced a new call and convert facility. The bank says it will enable its credit card holders paying for education, health or insurance-related products and services to convert transactions of 10,000 rupees and above into easy payment plans. The call and convert facility only requires customers to call the bank's contact center on 0112 353 353 within 7 days of a qualifying purchase and request a conversion. The bank said all commercial bank credit card holders are eligible to enjoy this facility until the end of the year.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
In economic news, Sri Lanka's farmers are expecting more time to learn about organic alternatives and their use. Farmers believe it is a good idea to drop chemicals, a study has found. However, farmers say they will not be able to obtain the expected harvest initially when chemical fertilizer is banned. Over 90% of farmers surveyed by Variety Research said they currently use chemical fertilizer and about 85% of the expected output falls if they cannot use them. About 44% of the farmers said they had already reduced the use of chemical fertilizer. Variety Research had conducted the survey via telephone in July 2021 that consisted 1,042 farmers from all 9 provinces in the country.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
In the weather report, Met Department says showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamu and central provinces and in the Galle and Matra districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the northwestern province. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Ua province and in the Ampara and Batticlaw districts in the afternoon. Fairly strong gusty winds can be expected in the western slope of Central Hills, northern, north central, northwestern and southern provinces and in Trincomalee district. On the apparent southward relative motion of the sun, it is going to be directly over the latitudes of Sri Lanka during 28th of August to 7th of September in this year. The nearest towns of Sri Lanka over which the sun is overhead tomorrow are Palampidi, Omanthe and Iramadu about 12:10 noon. And that was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
To end this news broadcast, back to the headlines. Health Minister says over 6 million people had now been fully vaccinated. The Supreme Court further extended the decision to hear only urgent matters in open court. The National Christian Alliance of Sri Lanka donates a stock of essential medical equipment to treat COVID-19 patients. Direct flights between Nepal and Sri Lanka will resume from Tuesday. Sri Lankan government has revised the visa fees and fines. Ministry of Environment implements several successful approaches to control the usage of plastic and polythene. News from overseas, the Taliban asks all women employees to report to work regularly. And that ends this news broadcast. You're with Radio Sri Lanka.